Hello and welcome back to another episode of Holistic Happiness Club. And this episode is going to be interesting because I'm going to talk about India's freedom struggle. No, I'm not going to talk about the stories and I'm not going to talk about the politics behind it. What I'm going to talk about is what we can learn, what we as an individual can learn from India's freedom struggle that can improve our growth, that can help us in our personal growth. So, India this week has celebrated its 78th Independence Day. Before 1947, India was under British rule, India was the colony of Britain. And India's freedom struggle has been unique in many ways, and it was long and hard struggle. So many people sacrificed so much in this struggle. And from all those things, what we can learn, what we can apply in our life from that struggle, that is what we are going to take a look at. So stay tuned for this episode. But before I start this episode, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning into Holistic Happiness Club and committing next few minutes with me. And a special thank you to all those who tune into Holistic Happiness Club every single week. The commitment of your time, the investment of your time, it is the fuel and the motivation behind Holistic Happiness Club to go every single week and produce something meaningful that is going to help all of us to grow. So, thank you so much. Please keep supporting us as you have always been. And without further delay, let's dive into the topic. Hi, my name is Akshay Tiwari. I'm a holistic happiness coach, author of the book named Usher, and the founder of Holistic Happiness Club. Holistic Happiness Club is a place where we understand that happiness is not a single faceted thing, it's a multifaceted thing. And that is why happiness needs to be treated holistically. Everything that is there in our life, everything that touches our life is a part of our happiness. And that is why we need to talk about everything. We need to take care of everything that is in our life, be it our health, be it our wealth, success, relationship, personal growth, spiritual growth, etc., or anything else that is part of our life is part of our happiness as well. So, more about me and more about Holistic Happiness Club at the end of the episode. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's topic. Alright, so let's begin with the first lesson that we can learn from India's freedom struggle. And if you talk about India, this topic will come sooner or later. So, the thing that we can learn is unity in diversity. India is a very diverse nation. It has different type of geography if you move from south to north or east to west, and there are so many different religions, there are so many different languages, and within the same religion there are multiple cultures. 17 are the official languages that we speak, and there are many other that are not official language. And so there are so many differences, there are so many things that Indians do follow that look very different from outside. But but there is an undercurrent of being an Indian. There is a proud in everyone's heart that they are Indian. There is an undercurrent of a civilization because we are oldest living civilization in the world. So we have that inner connect from one to another, and that inner current that binds us together. So that is our strength, that is the unity in the diversity. And the leaders of India's freedom struggle, be it Nehru or Gandhi, they were the non-violent leaders, and be it Subhash Chandra Bose and Chandrasekhar Azad, they were the people who were the revolutionaries. And everybody tried to tap into that, everybody tried to bring each and every kind of people, each and every different cultures people, different religions people under one umbrella of freedom. They wanted to keep people under one umbrella of India, because underlying we all are same, inherently we all are same, we all need similar things. And that is what these leaders tried to tap into, and they were successful to a great extent. Okay, and they knew that maybe we look, or maybe we behave a little bit differently from outside, but there is a strength in togetherness, and unless we are not together, we will not be able to gain the freedom. So, what we can learn from this lesson of India's freedom struggle is inherently people are same. Number one. Number two, there is a strength in unity. So, no matter what we want to achieve, no matter where we are, maybe two people, maybe if they belong to same religion, same race, etc., but they might look differently, they might behave differently, even though they belong to same culture and same race and same religion, but inherently they are human. Outwardly they will look different, so inherently we all are same. And if you want to live peacefully and achieve some greater goals, we need to stick together with one another. We need to be complementing one another to achieve a greater goal. So whether we are living in a society, whether we are working in a small team or a large team, we need to stick together, we need to become the strength of one another. That is how we are going to achieve big things. So this is the lesson for individuals as well, and for the people who are leader or who are aspiring to be a leader, that unless you bring people together, unless there is some underlying commonness, and the biggest underlying commonness in everyone is that everyone is human and everyone is with human needs, right? So unless you are bringing them together, you are not going to be able to achieve something great. Okay, so bring people together by some common means, and the biggest common means is that all are human, we all have human needs. Okay, so that was the first lesson that we can learn from India's freedom struggle. Second thing is perseverance and resilience. See, India's freedom struggle was very long. It was almost 90-year long freedom struggle. The first battle we fought was at 1857 and we got freedom in 1947. It was 90-year long struggle. And there were so many type of freedom fighter. There was Gandhi who was trying to fight non-violently. There were other revolutionaries who were trying to fight violently, and all have different strategies and all were great. I'm not undermining anyone's achievement and anyone's contribution. Everyone has their fair share of contribution. Okay, but all of these freedom fighters knew that it is going to be a long fight and you need to persevere, and there are going to be setbacks. So you need to be resilient in the face of brutality, in the face of torture. There will be setbacks, there will be people who will flee away, maybe not because of their own selfish reasons and not because of their cowardice, but because of their different circumstances and different reasons that they might be facing in future time. All right, so because the people who were in power, the Britishers who were in power, of course they did not like these kind of protest and this kind of demand for power. They tried everything possible to crack down these protests and these revolutions which were happening at that time. So of course these were also smart people, so they were also cracking things down. And it was a continuous journey. There were so many setbacks, there were so many protests that failed, there were so many armed revolution which were not successful, there were so many attempts which were failed. But our freedom fighters knew it from the beginning, that this is not going to be an easy road. It is going to be a long and hard battle. There will be sacrifices that they will have to make, there will be setbacks that they will have to face. Okay, and and in the face of all this brutality, your resilience, your focus on that one goal, your focus on your grand vision, that will help you to get up and learn from the mistakes, learn from the failure, learn from the fall down, and again with the renewed spirit, with the renewed commitment, renewed enthusiasm and renewed knowledge, you need to again try to reach that goal. And again you will fall down, and again you need to repeat the same process. So this is the lesson actually for us, that anything which is worth achieving, anything great, will not come easy to you. You need to fight for it, you need to work for it, you need to make sacrifices, petty sacrifices, you need to sacrifice petty things for that great that you want to achieve, right? So be ready to sacrifice those things, be ready to face setbacks, and be ready to get up and again try for the same great thing that you were trying to do, right? And before I move forward, I have a special request to all of you. If you are listening this podcast on iTunes and Spotify, they have a special feature where you can rate this podcast up to 5 star, right? So please rate this podcast so that we can reach to more and more people. And also let us know your feedback. What do you think about this podcast? Also, if you are listening this podcast on YouTube, please like this video, please share this video with others to whom you think this knowledge will be of use, and please subscribe to this channel, right? Also, or if there is anything, any other different topic that you want me to speak about, everything is welcome. So that was the special request. Now let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing is strategic thinking and adaptability. See, as I said, it was a 90-year long struggle. Okay, uh, many of the people has does not have this kind of long life. So it was a long struggle for independence, and in this long struggle, there was this main goal which was in mind, that we want to attain freedom. And then there were different groups. One group was non-violent, one group was armed revolutionaries were there. So there were different thinking, there were different thought processes, and they all were trying to walk towards the same goal, which is freedom, in their own ways. And Britishers were also trying to crack down on all these things. So every time revolutionaries or freedom fighters, they used to come up with one strategy, Britishers used to come up with another strategy. And every time there was a failure, freedom fighters learned from their failures, they corrected their mistakes, and after that they stood up again with a renewed knowledge and renewed sense of enthusiasm. And then they adapted over time when things evolved, like weapons evolved, communications evolved, people's understanding evolved about Britishers, about freedom, about their own governance. Okay, so every time there was a new evolution, freedom fighters took that evolution, that renewed knowledge in their struggle, in their grand vision, in their tactics. Okay, so it was continuously continuous adaptation that was happening from both ends, of course, from Britishers end as well. But I think freedom fighters were one step ahead. That's why they were able to they were able to win. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, that with time things change. Your grand vision might be same, but with time things change, and technology change, people change, thought processes change, people evolve. So with time you need to evolve as well, you need to adopt to the new environment. Your grand vision will be same, but the strategy that you are adopting to reach there needs to be re-evaluated time to time, and needs to adapt the new things, the new development that has happened in that time, right? So whenever you are trying to achieve, be whatever you are trying to achieve something, if it is big enough, of course, then you need to have this strategic thinking, and you need to have this open mind, that time to time you need to adapt to new circumstances and new development. Okay, so this was another lesson about strategic thinking and adaptability from India's independence struggle. The next lesson that we can learn is sacrifice for a greater cause. So there are actually two lessons here that we can learn. Number one, that anything that is great needs sacrifice. You will have to do some sacrifices for that. Okay, and the second thing is that when people find something greater than that, they are ready to sacrifice themselves also, okay, for that cause, what for that something that is greater than their life. Okay, see, many of us, an average Indian will be able to give you the name of freedom fighters. I think around 25 to 50. Okay, but there were at least 200,000 people who were jailed, at least I'm talking about, and there were, I don't know, maybe 20 million people involved in the freedom struggle. Not everyone's name is mentioned in the history, but everybody was fighting to the best of their ability. Whatever they could, they did for India's freedom. Because, and they knew that these are the people who will not go down in the history. They knew that their name will be forgotten. But because there was a greater sense, there was a greater cause, there was a sense of something that is larger than their own life, that's why they were rallying behind these leaders like Chandrasekhar Azad, Rani Lakshmibai, and Mahatma Gandhi. They were rallying behind these great leaders for India's freedom. So when people find the sense of something great, they are ready to work hard. So this is a very good lesson for yourself. Number one, that you need to find a purpose that keeps you awake, that keeps you motivated, that keeps you enthusiastic. And the second thing, if you are working as a leader in corporate also, or for anything, if you are working as a leader or if you are aspiring to be a leader, you need to give people something that is larger than their life. Okay, look at Steve Jobs. He was a corporate leader, he was a marketing guy, but he was able to give their company's engineer a vision of designing and developing something beautiful, something that has never been seen. Okay, whether it's iPhone or iPod. So he was able to give people the sense that they are working for something great, and that is why people rallied behind it. Engineers rallied behind him. I'm not talking about the customers, I'm talking about the people, employees who were worked under him. They rallied behind it. They put so much effort for the vision of Steve Jobs because they found themselves that they are contributing in that grand vision. And in any company, if you go, okay, people will not be driven by selfish motives. Maybe they will be driven for some time, they maybe they will be driven for some time with money or little bit of position. But if you want to drive people for long time, you need to give them the reason that they can hook on to. You need to give them the vision that where they are contributing. Everybody wants to contribute in this life, and everybody wants to leave behind a legacy. But when they find this, not everybody has this sense. When they find this sense of something that is larger than their life, then they are ready to put their blood, sweat, and tears for making this a success. So this is a very good lesson for all the leaders and aspiring leaders. Now, the last thing that we need to look at is what is the relevance of India's freedom struggle in the modern challenges that we have all around the world. So, one of the unique thing in India's freedom struggle was non-violent protest. This thing was led by Mahatma Gandhi, so he was leading this wing of non-violent protest. He has launched so many of them, and it shook British India at that point in time also. So, whether or not he has given us the freedom, that's debatable. So many people will say that he has not, and so many people will say he has. But in my personal opinion, we cannot deny his contribution, and his contribution in building India's political system and the legacy that he has left behind of non-violent protest, that has inspired so many Indians for decades. Not only Indians, but it has inspired so many people all around the world. So when we have a civic body in place, the non-violent protest are the best way to show your disagreement with the current government. So that is something that he has shown. Another thing that we need to learn from his whole movement, that he was very passionate about his principles that he was following: non-violence, truth, and all these things that he was practicing in his own life day in and day out. He was very passionate about all those principles. So when he led this moment, whether or not he has given us the freedom, he has certainly contributed in that, but whether or not he has given the freedom or not, that's different. But the thing is that he has created an impact, and that impact can still be felt today, not only in India but all over the world. So what I'm trying to give you here is that when you do something with heart, when your passion lies there, it will create an impact, whether or not in the ways in which you want, maybe not, but it will create an impact, a positive impact, in the place where you are living, or in the whole world maybe. Right? So believe in yourself, be driven from the heart. So that is one of the lesson that we can take, that is that we can take from the India's freedom struggle, and that is relevant to modern challenges. Other things that we can take from India's freedom struggle that is relevant to today's problems is inclusivity and civic engagement. See, if you want to achieve something great, humans are limited by time and resources and capacities. So you need people to make your grand vision possible, and the grander your vision is, the more people you will need. If you want to create an impact on the whole world, maybe you are going to need an army, not real professional army who fights a war, maybe a corporate army, maybe an army of people or army of volunteers who volunteer behind you, rally behind you for a greater cause, like doctors they do. They go across the countries and they help people wherever it is needed. All right, so what I'm trying to say is, the greater impact that you want to create, the more people you are going to need. So be a contribution maker, be a visionary, and take help from people. If you are going to command people, not so many of them are going to stay with you. But if you are taking help from people, they are going to rally behind you, because they will see something greater than their own life. Okay, so that those are the lessons that we can take even today, for our personal growth, for the growth of a corporate or any kind of organization. And if we want to realize our own vision, so these are the lessons that we can learn from India's freedom struggle. There are multiple modes, but I think these were on the top of my head, which I thought I will convey to all of you. All right, so this is the end of the topic of the day. But before I end the episode, I have few announcement to make, that you can become, I invite all of you to become a member of Holistic Happiness Club, because becoming a member of Holistic Happiness Club is free. So to become the member, you need to follow the link which is given in the description or in the show notes. So you can follow the link and be a member of Holistic Happiness Club for free. There are so many perks that comes with a membership. For example, there are weekly sessions that are free to attend. You can attend those sessions and you can learn from them. All right. And the second announcement which I have to make is, there is an ebook that I have written. The name of the ebook is The Happiness Blueprint: Practical Strategies for a Fulfilled Life. And this ebook is pocket size ebook and full of actionable steps that you can take right now and start feeling the change in your life right away. So please go ahead and click on the link which is given in the description to download this ebook. And if you want to connect with me on a one-to-one basis and discuss your roadblocks to success and happiness, and you want to design your own personalized, tailored happiness blueprint, then you can connect with me on one-to-one basis. The link to connect and schedule a meeting with me on a one-to-one basis is given in the description, so please follow that link. And if you want to connect with me on social media, I'm available on all social medias, but I'm most active on Instagram. So Instagram is the place. Happiness Architect is my Instagram handle. You can connect with me there. And if you want to know more about me, then you can go to my website, which is akshaytiwari.in. All right, so with that, we have reached to the end of the episode as well. Till the time we are seeing each other again, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, take care of your loved one, and always remember that happiness is a lifestyle. Take care. Bye bye. Peace. God bless you.